Okay, so here we go with the interviews, and this week we've got Braintree goalkeeper number 1, Preston Edwards. Hi Preston.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you mate. Thanks for coming and doing this with us. Right, just a couple of stats about you. 31-year-old, born in Cheshunt. Who do you support or who do you follow?
Tottenham.
Oh, not another Tottenham one.
Yeah.
Some of the Tottenham fans. What's your full-time job?
I'm a maths teacher in a secondary school.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. And as far as your career goes, you started at Millwall. So what sort of age were you when you were at Millwall?
I was at Millwall from the age of 9 and I was there until 19.
Yeah.
Made a few first team appearances for them.
Yeah.
And obviously got England honours at the same time with Millwall. Great club. Enjoyed the experience there.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from so many coaches there.
Was that still the old den when you were there, or was it new?
No,
den?
it was a new den, unfortunately. Yeah, but
I've been to both.
Yeah, no, I still kind of follow them, even though no one's there from the time I was there. But just, you know, they treated me well at the time, so I enjoyed the experience.
Okay. Now, so what sort of age did you start goalkeeping? Were you always a goalkeeper growing up, or was it something you grew into?
I never chose to be a goalkeeper. Never really understood why someone would want to stand there all the time and watch the game. But yeah, I was asthmatic as a child, so they just stuck the one who couldn't run in goal. Because I was breathing heavy after I made a few runs, and then just turned out all right. I was always bigger than everyone else, but then my height stopped after 16, and I was hopefully I could get to like 6'4", but unfortunately that didn't happen. But yeah, no, that's why I'm in goal.
Okay. So who was your boyhood hero?
I would say David James, because he's kind of like close to my family. So David James was kind of who I looked up to. But if he was someone who was internationally, who I think, I really like Buffon, because I just like his presence around people and the way he influences everyone around him.
Did you ever meet or come across David James?
Oh yeah. I've trained with him a few times. Great on his pro.
So he doesn't have confidence, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's got too much of it. But no, great goalkeeper. Obviously, you don't play at that level for that long, and played that many times for England. So yeah, good keeper.
And he was at Villa as well.
Yes, he was.
You were released by Millwall. That's after 3 years in 2009. What was your time like there? And what other keepers were in front of you?
So the first couple of seasons with Lenny Pidgley and Chris Day.
Right. Yeah.
Lenny Pidgley dropped into non-league, similar to me, even though he had a stellar career as a youth goalkeeper. He should have obviously stayed in the league as way more than what he should have done. Chris Day was a great pro, played a lot of league games for Stevenage and QPR, good person. And then after a couple of seasons, David Ford come in, and he was probably one of the best goalkeepers I've worked with. Really worked hard at his game, really honest with his approach. And yeah, good person to be around.
Okay. What division were they in when you were?
So Championship and League One. I made my debut in League One. Okay. So I was on the bench loads of times in the Championship, but League One is where my last 2 years as a professional were.
I mean, a lot of clubs have got a lot of goalkeepers. How hard is it to get that number 1 spot?
Extremely difficult. I understand that. Obviously, there's only one position for a goalkeeper, and you've got to be patient. You've got to be lucky at the same time as well. Unfortunately, I don't feel I took my opportunity with 2 hands. When I come on, I had an okay game, but not the best game. And I felt I wanted more. And at a young age, I was demanding first team football because of me having that England experience. I wanted to be with the crowds and everything, and that's why I went on loan to Dover and won a championship by the age of 18. So really happy with the way I did it. But obviously, I look back at it a little bit and no regrets. But I wish I could stay in the programme a little bit longer. So
when you're England, we talked about England when 17 and 18, and of course you went on to be England sea keeper as well. Who were you playing with in those sides?
Wow. Everyone who's still in the Prem who's my age. So at the time, I'll tell you the back 4 actually. It was Ryan Bertrand, Jack Cork, Kieran Clark.
Wow.
And there was another young, Jack Cork, Kieran Clark, James Tompkins, that's the one I missed. And then there's Theo Walcott, JP Kissock, Josh Walcott and Scott St Clair. And my kicking looked lead because I had Andy Carroll up front, so he just absolutely bullied everyone when he was younger. So yeah, but the most talented player who I left out was Daniel Sturridge.
Right.
I speak to him now and again. But obviously he's out of the game at the moment, but talent-wise, he was second to none.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, in your non-league career, so you've racked up most appearances for Ebbsfleet and Dulwich. What do you recall about your times there?
Really enjoyed my experience at Ebbsfleet. Obviously got promoted with Braintree 2010-11.
Yeah.
We had some good battles with Braintree. I must have played against Braintree so many times throughout the years. Thoroughly enjoyed my time at Ebbsfleet. I was there for 6 seasons. Last season, obviously you go through your managers and one don't take your liking. I understand that it's football, you move on. So I went on loan to Boreham Wood after that. Didn't have a great time there, but you learn from them bad experiences as well. I believe it makes you stronger as a person. And you learn from these things. What can you do differently? What can a manager do differently with you? How you approach the games and how you approach the person as well.
Yeah.
So then Dulwich I loved as well. I played a lot of times there for Dulwich. Got promoted with them as well. So I've been fortunate enough in my career to be promoted 3 times now and been in a lot of playoff battles. 2 great clubs. Very fond of and enjoyed the experience.
Now, I understand that you may have something of an unwanted record from your time at Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
You want to tell me about it?
The 10-second red card, of course you'd bring that up. Listen, we was playing against Farmer at the time, were one of the main rivals in the Braintree season. So, 10 seconds, bad pass back, take him out, sent off. There's not much I could really talk about. It was only so short.
It's on YouTube. You can see it. Preston's not to blame.
I wish I had the copyright to it because there's about 15 million views, but earned a few quid. But no, obviously, it's something to talk about.
That's right.
Not many people can say nothing about.
Now, I also saw on there somewhere when you were at Dulwich, there was a banner that said "No Preston, No Party." What's that about?
You know what? I don't know where they get this story from. They must have seen me on a night out. But it was just come about, and then every 1st February home game, there would be about 50 fans with a mask on, looking like me, with "No Preston, No Party." And you know what? I look back at that and I love that because that's fans for you, and we really missed that during that period. And I always get it from the Dulwich fans again. Still, no Preston, no party. It's just carried through me throughout my career, and it's just one of them things that I'm fond of it, to be honest with you, because not many people have that sort of background behind them, and it's great to see so many people kind of support you as a person and as a goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Who's been the best manager or coach you've worked with and why?
I would say Liam Daish, who was a Ebbsfleet manager.
Nails.
Yeah, hard as nails, as honest as he's come. He took a chance on me when I was kind of low down. I was at Grays. We got relegated from the conference at the time, and I actually had my worst game against Ebbsfleet in the conference against Ebbsfleet. And he took a chance on me and believed in me, and I would say he was the best person because he was as honest as he come, and that replicates my personality as well. I try and be as honest as I can with people, be as loud as I can, and just trying to replicate him. So I'd definitely say Liam Daish because of the way he was with me.
Okay. So how did you come to sign for Braintree?
So Kiri messaged me, the goalkeeper coach, messaged me on Instagram. So he said, "What's the situation?" And I just said, it was like a day before, so I signed for Brentwood. And he said, "Okay, well, if your situation changes," and then they put a 7-dayer in for me just before the season starts. So, fortunate to obviously play at Braintree because I know they've been a club at the level I've been at for most of my career. And and this is something that I need to dig in and hopefully get a No Preston, No Party mask thing going here.
Yeah, who was in charge then at Braintree? Was it George? Or?
Yeah, it was George. Yeah, it was George Borg. Obviously, we didn't have the greatest starts. I only played about 7 or 8 games. Lost every single one, which is obviously I don't want that background behind me, but it is what it is, and it's my job to obviously get them clean sheets to get Braintree at the right end of the table because I know the last 2 seasons hasn't been great.
In pre-season, we've seen you sharing goalkeeping duties with Billy Johnson. He was here a couple of seasons ago. How do you rate him? What are his strengths?
Yeah, good lad. Obviously, I know that he had a hard time at Stevenage, but like myself as a young goalkeeper, I remember them hard times, and you've got to build on it and make it stronger for yourself. His kicking is a great strength of his. He can but with young goalkeepers, they need to play games as much as they can, and not worry about anything else. Work hard in training, apply themselves the right way around the building, and just be mentally right. Because I think the fine lines of having the ability as a goalkeeper, you'd be the best goalkeeper you would want in the world in training, but mentally it's the strongest thing for me.
I mean, like you, he was at Norwich, a Championship club.
Yeah.
Got released.
Yeah. And he's just trying to build on that and just trying to focus on his own game, don't do any differently, and his time will come.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. How does he compare to you when you were his age?
Obviously, there's different traits of a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I would say we're both athletic, and try and be good with our feet.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm more experienced. I'm 32 in a couple of weeks, so he will grow into a goalkeeper that he feels that off to anyone else, because obviously goalkeeper saves the ball with their hands and feet. It's as simple as that. We're all very similar, but I think he has his own traits and I have my own.
Right. Okay. Talking to keepers now and using their feet, is it something you've had to adapt to, or is it something you were natural with?
Definitely have to adapt to, because obviously the game's always evolving. Centre-halves can come in your box now, and whereas before is you can kick it the furthest to the halfway line, whereas now you have to be good short and long and medium game. So it's trying to adapt to them rules and be the best way you can, obviously. And the way the manager sets up, obviously, some want to be direct more than others. So it's just adapting really and trying to move with the game.
Are you comfortable with your feet now?
I would like to think so. Obviously, no one saw Dagenham. I don't know what happened there. I just had a lapse of concentration, and then it's just one of them things. But again, I learned from it.
Yeah.
And that's the best way I can as a goalkeeper. It's not I could have the best games, but they're the best games I don't learn. I don't learn from the best games. I learn from the bad games I have. Right. So I learned from it, deleted it from my mind. Hopefully, it didn't cost the club any points. So fortunately, it's a pre-season game, but hopefully it doesn't happen in the league game.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you intend to carry on playing, and will you look to coach when your career ends? Yeah,
of course I want to be playing as long as I possibly can. I still think I'm in a good age for a goalkeeper for 32 in a couple of weeks, so I was just looking to build on the amount of games I've played over 400 league games anyway, so keep on playing until as long as I possibly can. I was a coach at Dulwich, so I've had that experience already as at a young age. I felt it was the wrong time to be a coach, to be honest with you, because I still feel that I was young enough to play as much as I possibly can. But definitely we'll look to try and stay in the game, because I've got my own coaching company as well.
Right.
Works within school, but not at this level. No. But still have them traits of can you learn from myself and how to apply yourself to be a better person.
Okay. So the season finally started. I'm going to give some credit after mentioning the sending off and the Dagenham goal. Double save against Oxford.
Yes.
Good time, because we'd have gone one down at the time.
Yeah. Obviously, my job is to save the ball, so whatever way is a double save, it's great. But I would prefer not to be busy and keep clean sheets, to be honest with you. I thought we did well to get the point at the end, because they did put us under a huge pressure of going down to 10 men. Yeah. My job is to save shots, but really I want to influence the others to do better and not save as many shots as possible.
I mean, we can hear you very vocal out there, so...
that's one of my strongest traits, obviously. I like to be a character around the place and be as vocal as possible, because I feel that keeps me tuned into the game, and I'm mentally stronger when I'm being aggressive with my shouting and helping others. So that's always been part of my game, to be honest with you, my being vocal.
So lastly, how do you think we'll do this season?
Yes, I think we'll do well. We'll have our bad times, and it's how we deal with them bad times. Because we're still quite young, but experienced in the right areas as well. So we just need to make sure when we have them bad times that we rise through it and apply the pressure in the right way. Because we don't want to. I remember a similar time last year. Well, it started the season, but 7 on a trot's not right, and it becomes a bad habit.
Yeah.
So getting out them bad habits, and you know, we've got the right manager in place to make sure that he's very very big on knowing the other team.
Yeah.
So we know every single player for their team, and I think that's great because he's doing his homework.
Yeah.
And obviously we're doing the right things to do well in the league.
Brilliant. Preston, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers.